So we finally got our first Premier League goal of the season, our first Premier League victory as well. Long overdue, of course, they both were. I'm going to be looking back on that game from Saturday in this video. If you do enjoy it, please give it a like. If you do like what I do, please consider subscribing to the channel as well. And we'll be getting started after this. Hello, my name is Richard. Welcome back to my channel over and over again, the ARSNOR podcast. I say we're going to be looking back at Saturday's 1-0 victory here at the Emirates against Norwich. I say our first Premier League victory of the season. It's been long overdue, hasn't it, following those 3 defeats in the opening 3 games, because we hadn't lost our first 4 games ever in the history of the club. So a lot of pressure was on us and we got the job done. So we're going to look at the team lineups. We're going to analyse the performance, select a man of the match, and also as well, we're just going to look ahead to what else is coming up on the channel. So let's get started. So the team lineup then was a shock, wasn't it, in a way? 7 changes there was from that 5-0 defeat at Manchester City in our last Premier League game 2 weeks ago. Ramsdale came in goal for his Premier League debut. Of course, he'd made a decent start at West Brom in the Carabao Cup. Quite a surprise, though, to see him get the nod over Bernd Leno, who's been our number 1 for 3 years now, hasn't he? So that was a bit of a shocking goal. The defence as well saw 3 changes actually from the back 4. So Tomiyasu came in at right back for his debut for the club as well, just 2 days after arriving in the country. Again, a little bit surprised he was selected to start this game. The 2 centre-backs were Ben White and Gabriel. Gabriel making his first appearance of the season, and Ben White only his second. Of course, he's been out with COVID, hasn't he, since the Brentford game. And then Tierney, of course, was left back, the only player who stayed in the defence from the Manchester City game. Midfield, again, there was a little bit of a shock. Maitland-Niles came in, his first start for a long time. Of course, Thomas Partey was only fit enough for the bench in the end, and it was Lokonga who came back in as well following his benching against Manchester City. And then in the front 4, Ødegaard was in the number 10 position. Smith Rowe was only fit enough for the bench. It was Pepe was back in the side as well. He was on the right. Saka was on the left, and it was, of course, Aubameyang through the centre. So that was how we lined up. And I say lots of changes, lots of players coming in for our first appearance of the season. So it was exciting to see how this team would get on. As for Norwich, then manager Daniel Farke also made some changes to his side, 4 in fact, from their previous game, which was a 2-1 defeat at home to Leicester. So they lined up like this. It was Tim Krul in goal. Their back 4 was Aarons, Captain Hanley, Omar Bideli, and Williams at the back. In midfield, it was Lees, Milou, Root and McLean. And in the front 3, it was Dow, Pukki and Tzourlis. So that was how Norwich City lined up for this game. I say they'd made 4 changes, maybe looking to shake things up a bit, because of course they arrived at the Emirates also having 0 points for the season as well. I mean, I thought we started this game pretty well. We looked on the front foot for the first 10 or 15 minutes. Didn't really create a lot of chances, but we were the dominant team. We were dominating possession, and we were looking the more likely team to make the breakthrough. But when the early goal didn't come, we seemed to lose our way a little bit for the rest of the first half, and Norwich came back into it. They probably had the best chance of the first half, actually. It was a header from McLean. It was a Max Aarons cross. It just went wide of the far post, and that could have given Norwich a shock lead. And how would we have responded to that? I don't know. But as it turned out, that was pretty much as good as it got for Norwich, really. In the second half, again, we were maybe struggling to really create too many clear-cut opportunities until we made the substitutions. Just after the hour mark, it was Smith Rowe and it was Thomas Partey who both came on, and suddenly we looked a lot better, didn't we? Thomas Partey started getting the ball in midfield, passing forward, and Smith Rowe was looking lively as well. And that's what made the difference in the end. It was just 4 minutes later that we got the goal. Saka actually did well, didn't he, initially, just on the edge of the penalty area. Played the ball out to the right-hand side to Pepe. His shot was pushed onto the inside of the post by Tim Krul. It came back to Pepe. Little bit of a scramble. The ball hit the post again, and Pepe managed to somehow push the ball across the goal for Aubameyang just to tap home from literally a yard in front of an open goal. There'd been a hint of an offside. Norwich wasn't very happy, and I think Aubameyang in the previous phase of play had been standing in offside position in the 6-yard box, but because the ball had then come back off the post and come back off Pepe, and then he was clearly onside, and you could see that it was the right decision to award the goal, although I say Norwich didn't quite agree with that. After that, we had several opportunities to seal the points. Saka missed one, Pepe missed one, Aubameyang's missed one, and late on Smith Rowe missed one as well. We could easily have won this game 3 or 4-0 in the end. But of course, it did get a bit nervy, didn't it? The last 5 minutes, Norwich had 1 or 2 little opportunities. Pukki had one that was well blocked by a good defensive clearance from Cedric, who had come on as well. And I thought defensively, we did look solid when we had to. Yes, we wasn't put under a lot of defensive pressure. Norwich, as well as they played, and I thought they gave everything in this game. They lacked enough quality in the final third to really cause us too many major problems, and it was a fairly comfortable game for us defensively. I thought the atmosphere in the Emirates was good. The fans stayed behind the team, even though we were struggling to really create too many chances for quite a long time. It would have been easy for the fans to have maybe got frustrated, but it was credit to them that they didn't. And in the end, we got rewarded with that first goal and the first victory. Yes, it's far from convincing at times, and let's not get carried away. It's Norwich at home, and we should really be expected to beat a side like Norwich. But from small acorns grow big trees, don't they? And let's hope that this is the start of a better run of form, a more consistent run of form, and hopefully we can start to really push our way back up the table, because we're still in a position that's an unfamiliar position for us, and a position that we shouldn't be in. So we need to start somewhere. This is a start. Let's hope we push on from here. So, I mean, for a man in a match then, there's a few options, isn't there, really? There was a few decent performances. Ramsdale in goal wasn't really tested that much, was he? But everything he did, he looked comfortable with, didn't he? He's good with the ball at his feet. The little turn he did on Pukki in the penalty area was nice, wasn't it? We all enjoyed that. But yeah, overall, he wasn't really stretched defensively. But again, another clean sheet, 2 out of 2 for him so far for Arsenal. So we can't have any complaints about Ramsdale, can we? So the defence, it would look good. Again, wasn't really tested. I thought Tommy Asu at right back looked really strong, got forward well. Unlucky not to score as well, wasn't he? Could understand why he got taken off, because he hadn't been in the country that long, and he looked as though he was maybe running out of steam a little bit. The 2 centre-backs were solid. White and Gabriel, you can see that partnership developing pretty well over the course of the season, so it was nice to see them play together. They both played well. Tierney, again, he's not quite at his best, is he? I still think he's lacking a little bit defensively. He maybe didn't get forward as much in this game as he has done in some games previously as well. So he needs to maybe start upping his game a little bit. He's been a little bit disappointed with Kieran Tierney's performances this season. I thought the midfield was pretty good. Maitland-Niles was okay, wasn't he? You know what he's like. He looks very laid back, and sometimes he took too long to decide what to do and got the ball taken off him. But overall, he did okay. Bearing in mind, it's his first game of the season. He hasn't played in midfield for Arsenal for quite some time either. So we have to make maybe allowances for that. He did, of course, play at right back a little bit later on as well when we made the substitutions. Lokonga had a good game, didn't he, in midfield? Every time he's played, he's looked good, he's composed, he can win the ball. He looks like he's going to be a really good signing for us. Another decent performance, actually, from Lokonga. I thought in the forwards area of the pitch, we had some good moments and some poor moments. Didn't really create as many chances earlier on in the game as we maybe could have done. I thought Saka was maybe a little bit off the pace. Maybe he's a bit tired following his great performance for England, of course, in the international break, and he has played a lot of football, hasn't he? Is it time to maybe give him a little rest? I'm not sure he was quite as sharp as you'd expect him to be. But Pepe had a good game, actually. Obviously, Nelly scored the goal, didn't he? Hit the post twice in the build-up to that. He looked dangerous when he had the ball. A couple of times, though, what he always does, his first touch lets him down, and that's something that needs to be worked on. But we know the quality he's got, and he's going to score goals. He was quite unfortunate not to get one. I thought Ødegaard maybe didn't have the influence in the game he would have liked, but he did work hard. You could see he was driving the team forward, and you have to give credit to him. But I'm going to give the man of the match, and it may be a controversial selection for some people, but I think our best performer on the day, maybe a player that we've been critical of over the last year or so, probably rightly so, but I thought we had a decent game on Saturday, was the scorer of the winning goal, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. I thought he worked really hard. He looked a lot fresher and sharper than he has done. He was hungry to get the goal. He was a constant threat to the Norwich defence with those balls over the top and in behind. And I was pleased that it was him that got the goal. I think he needs it to help maybe boost his confidence. His first Premier League goal of the season. Let's hope he can kick on from here. But I thought he's had a really good game, and hopefully it's the start of a good run of form for him, because an informed Aubameyang is important to this team, and it's important for us to get the results and climb the table. So for me, the man of the match in this game has to go to Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. So yeah, not the most convincing of victories, if we're totally honest. But the 3 points was all that mattered. I said before the game that either taking a 1-0 victory, just get the 3 points. And that's what we got. And sometimes, these 1-0 wins are what we've lacked under Arteta. I think that's only the second time we've managed a 1-0 victory at the Emirates in the Premier League under this manager. So we do need a few more 1-0 victories. They're the type of wins that get you high up the league, aren't they? They're the type of victories that you need to win trophies and be competitive, because you're not going to play well every game. And when you're a little bit off form, you need to somehow find a victory. We managed to keep a clean sheet for a new defence, which was good. Goalkeeper, again, looked good. And we did manage to finally get the goal. And yeah, we could have scored 2 or 3 more at the end. I thought Norwich ran out of steam a little bit and their heads went down, although they did play pretty well overall. So a decent enough victory is what we needed. But what's important now is that we push on from here. If we then go on to lose our next 2 or 3 games or not play very well in the next 2 or 3 games, this would have been a waste of time. We need to use this as a springboard, a stepping stone to progress our season, move forward and start climbing that table. But it's a start. Not the most convincing of starts, as I said, but it's a start. So we've got 3 points on the board now. Let's push on from here. Coming up on the channel, there's a lot of good stuff coming up. So please subscribe if you haven't done so already. We've got the Tuesday clinic tomorrow. We're going to be looking back on the Norwich game with a panel. We're going to be looking ahead to the Burnley game as well. We'll have a good archive season as well. An archive season where 1-0 to the Arsenal was quite a common result. So that's going to be good as well. All that's coming up tomorrow, 8 o'clock, that will be on the channel. We then, of course, we'll be building up to the Burnley game at the weekend. I'm hoping to get Dan, the Burnley fan, back on the channel to talk about that at some stage later on in the week as well. And of course on Friday it'll be the Arsenal women's show. That's going really well. We're going to look back on the Reading game, the Champions League draw as well this week. So lots to talk about with the Arsenal women, although it's an international break for the women, of course, so there's no game until the following week against Manchester City. So but it'll be a lot to talk about on that. So that's going to be coming out on Friday at 7:30 as well. And then of course on Saturday there will be a watch along of the Burnley game kicking off at 3 o'clock. So I'll probably go live about 2:45 with all the team news and the build up, and of course then full match commentary as well. So loads coming up on the channel. As I say, please subscribe if you haven't done so already. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like. Please share the content around and stay tuned for the Tuesday clinic tomorrow at 8 o'clock with the guys. Going to be a good show there as always. So thanks for watching the channel. Thanks for your support. And of course, as always, we always finish the same way, don't we? Come on, you Gunners. Come on.